chapter does seem to go on forever. There are so many varied flavors of Linux, and we did want you to at least have a chance to look at them all before continuing. We do have one more to show you here. This is called Lubuntu, L-Ubuntu, which is for lightweight Ubuntu. This flavor of Ubuntu uses the LXDE desktop, which is an acronym standing for the Lightweight X11 Desktop Environment. This is designed to use less resources for computers that are cloud-based computers, such as netbooks or other devices that may not have as many resources as a full-fledged desktop system. Also, if you have an older desktop, then this may be a good choice for you as well. Now, our course is based on the classic GNOME desktop, because that is pretty much the de facto standard to date anyway, although there are new desktops coming all the time. That's what's nice about the free open source environment, and that everybody is free to try out new ideas they may have. Yeah, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, when we thought we had covered all the different flavors of Ubuntu, we discovered there's another one out called Lubuntu, which is supposed to be a very compact design for netbooks and other systems with low resources. So let's see what Lubuntu looks like. Courtesy of the Oracle VirtualBox, we're going to run an install of Lubuntu. This looks similar already. English. When we select install Lubuntu, I'm not expecting too many surprises here. This is looking like they're using the same installer that Ubuntu Studio uses and that the Kubuntu uses. But we'll see. That's what's nice about Ubuntu and free open source. Everybody shares, so no one has to reinvent the wheel along the way. Here we are. We select our language, click forward. This looks familiar. We've seen this before. We'll download updates and install the third-party software as long as we're going through this. Looks like they're using the same installer as the other flavors of Ubuntu that we've seen. In this case, we're going to erase and install because we're doing a virtual install. Again, other disk options have been covered in other labs, and we will be doing one. There is one also on a very advanced manual partitioning. So we're going to accept this as an erase and install. We just want to see what this looks like. Creating the external 4-file system, which seems to be the default file system these days for most Linux installs, most Ubuntu installs in particular. Did correctly find our time zone because we are connected to the internet. Our keyboard is a USA keyboard type. We'll enter our name. We have our favorite student, Mr. Doe, and we're going to call this machine Lubuntu. Our username will be John. We'll use John's favorite password, which I'm not going to tell you. Let me click forward. Now we are going through a little presentation. This is supposed to be a lightweight install, so we're curious to see if we get all the applications we get with the full Ubuntu, or it just installs the basic operating system. Let's see what happens. Okay, we have a new desktop we're going to see. Here is the LXDE desktop. Claims to be fast performing and energy saving. Let's see what happens with this. This is a desktop we have not previously seen. Looks like the default browser will be Chromium, the new Google browser. So Chromium is included and Firefox is supported. So what that means is we can add Firefox if we want to, but by default we'll be using the Chromium browser. So we'll see when this is done what this new desktop looks like. We'll see if it's in any way familiar. So we find ourselves walking around our living room at night with the lights out after somebody moved all the furniture around. AbiWord is the word processor, and numeric is the spreadsheet. These are alternatives for LibreOffice. So apparently we're not getting LibreOffice install, we're getting a separate spreadsheet and document writer program. The media player will be the gnome-mplayer. So we're not using the GNOME desktop, but we're taking the gnome-mplayer. Much of the software is interchangeable between the various desktops. I mean, there are always exceptions, but in general, the software does tend to cross over desktops between GNOME, Unity, the KDE desktop that we saw with Ubuntu, the XCFE desktop that we saw with Mythbuntu, and now we have yet another desktop to look at. They're using Pigeon as the instant messaging client. Other versions of Ubuntu have moved on to Empathy. You can put Empathy in here if you like, and you can also install Skype. Okay, the default mail program is Sylpheed. That's one we haven't seen yet. It also supports the Thunderbird mail client. We don't see any claim about supporting Evolution, so we're not sure where that's at. But again, this is intended to be a lightweight install of Ubuntu. If you have an older laptop or a netbook or a machine that doesn't have that much memory or that powerful a processor, this might possibly be an alternative version of Ubuntu to try. We're still using the Synaptics software manager, which seems to be pretty much standard with all flavors of Ubuntu. We're up to configuring the bootloader. This is using Grub as the bootloader. And Lubuntu has a wiki page, and they're also on the IRC chat as Lubuntu. And again, you have to admire all these different flavors of Ubuntu that have come out. This enforces the beauty of free open source software in that people are able to share and make improvements and changes and experiment with their own ideas. So it's a constantly evolving system, generally always becoming better as time goes on. There's also a mailing list for Lubuntu. Looks like they're part of the Ubuntu wiki pages. It looks like our install is getting close to being finished here. And at this point we're downloading some of the packages. Remember, we checked 2 checkboxes at the beginning of the install that told us to download and install some third-party software, such as the MP3 codecs, as well as to download and install some updates. So at the end of the install, we're waiting for that to happen here. And this can take a long amount of time or a short amount of time, depending on the quality of your internet connection. This basically is the end of the install. And then we have the final part of our system install. Click the restart button. We'll have to remove the installation media. And here is our login. This again, slightly different login. We enter our username and password. We have an option to upgrade. I'm not going to upgrade right now. Just want to see what this looks like out of the box. Here's our desktop. And our menu is on the bottom, similar to a K desktop. And here we have accessories, games, graphics, internet. The Chromium browser is the default. In Office we have a word processor and a spreadsheet creator analyzer. Sound and video, here we have the gnome-mplayer. Looks like it has something set for our webcam. System tools is pretty much what you expect to find in your system. So there is no system menu, but the system tools, which is your administration applications and your preferences. So it's similar to GNOME but different. We have a run command similar to Windows. In accessories, we do have a terminal, an LXDE terminal. Here's a file manager application next to the menu. Here's a shortcut to our browser. Please choose which search engine you want to use. We'll pick Google, it's up to you. This is the Chromium browser. This again is different than Firefox. It's a little plain, pretty straightforward. Here is our Learn Ubuntu website, and it does play looks like, okay, it does appear that it has the, let's see if it plays the flash out of the box. Looks like it does. Well, that makes it easy. So it does appear to be fairly multimedia ready. It did actually make a nice screen in the VirtualBox, which is usually a good indication that the video drivers are easy to deal with. When you get a small screen, it usually means that video is being a little persnickety. And we have what appears to be a desktop switcher that gives us two initial desktops to switch between. And our update manager here with important updates, which obviously are a good idea to run. So we're going to let this run, and now you've seen what the Lubuntu install looks like and what this desktop looks like. The LXDE desktop. And there's a link for it right here, which takes us to their webpage. Anyway, we're going to install our updates, and you can download this from our student downloads as well, and give it a shot if you're curious. Now, since this course is based on the GNOME Classic desktop, we do show you near the end of this example, this lab exercise, how to install the GNOME desktop and use it on the Lubuntu if you like. Now, if this is an interesting enough operating system, you can follow the detailed instructions and perform an installation of this for yourself to take a look at.